Welcome to Dream Chasers Radio, where we are always daring to be different. Get ready, get ready, get ready to be inspired. Let's get moving toward our goals. And here to make that happen is our host, Yaya Diamond. Well, here we are once again, daring to be different. Dream Chasers Radio is here for you. Thank you so much for tuning in all over the world. I want to say a big hello to Jay. There's a band that I'm going to have on the show tomorrow, and their band is from India, and I did the interview today because their time frame is a little bit different than ours. But what a wonderful interview that is, and you will be hearing that tomorrow. But today we have so much for you. But let's get the preliminaries out of the way. You're listening to us on 97.5 FM, Real Community Radio right there in Northport, Florida, as well as all of the Caribbean and the Caribbean Community Radio. Hey! All right, and then we got Bomb Baby Radio, of course, Bomb Baby Radio in New York. What's up? And then we got the Dream Chasers Radio Network. We're hitting 3,200 downloads a day and more. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. And also thank you for sharing the show. And if you haven't already shared the show, please do. We're on Twitter. We're on Instagram. We're on Facebook. We're on iTunes, iHeart. You name it, we're on it. Thank you so much for tuning in. We have our first guest on the line. I'm going to go ahead and say thank you so much for being on the show. Please tell everybody who you are and what you do, please.
Hello.
Hello.
So my name is. Yes. How you doing today? My name is Mezonic, and I'm so happy to be on the show.
Oh my gosh! Well, we're happy to have you on the show, Mezonic. Tell us about yourself. Why are you, a musician? Because I know you are. And what happened, and what made you go that route?
Yeah, so for those of you who have never heard about me, my name is Mezonic, and I'm originally from Liberia, West Africa. I started doing music professionally back in 2005. I was kind of playing around with it while I was in college in Decatur, Georgia, but, kind of got serious about it in 2005, so I kind of dabbled in the hip-hop world, did a few hip-hop albums, and, but I've always wanted to do, like, Afrocentric type of music. So, when the Afrobeat craze took over, I just kind of started looking for instrumentals that would fit what I was trying to do. So, and for some strange reason, Liberians started really appreciating our form of music. So, at first it was shied upon. Yeah, like at first, if you made Liberian music, the Liberian audience didn't really appreciate it. But at some point, like I would say like 3 to 5 years ago, a lot of Liberians started paying attention and really appreciating our own sound. So, that's why I decided to do this album. I'm currently promoting my latest album called Carnival, and it's basically a lot of Afrobeat music. I did some kind of rapping in the African way or using Liberian colloquial to rap and even sing. So that's what that's all about. But the music is fun. When you hear it, you definitely want to get on the dance floor and do your thing. So.
Well, I like that. So, okay, so you got into that, then they started getting into it. Now, let me ask you a question. Where are you located at the moment?
So I'm currently in Charlotte, North Carolina. I've actually, when I moved to the States, Charlotte was my home base. It's been my home base since 97. But, over the years, I moved to Atlanta for about 4 years, went to college over there, and then came back to Charlotte, and then I moved to Kentucky for a little while. So, but Charlotte has been my home base, and, that's probably due to the fact that we had family members who were already living here before we relocated here. So, but I'm in Charlotte. So.
Awesome. And being in Charlotte, what is the difference between the music industry here and the music industry in Nigeria, where you're from?
The music in Liberia is fairly new, and I'll only say it's new because it's only now that our people are really starting to show real support, like show up to artist shows and things of that nature. I don't know if you know the history of Liberia, but we had like a civil war, and that really kind of set us back. Because of the war, we weren't able to do a lot. So it's like after the war, that's when people started picking their lives back up and trying to get things going again. So just because of that war, we were really set back for years, So as of late, it's this sense of nationality and pride that's helping us to at least appreciate our culture and our music, So.
Wow.
But the big difference to answer your question is, of course, over here everything is more structured when it comes to the music industry. Although, we all know when it comes to hip hop in the U.S., things have been changing too over the years. Like artists who were really talented per se and had really good, strong lyrics and stuff, it seemed like those artists are kind of pushed behind nowadays. Except for a few newer artists, but the older artists, they were pushed behind. But the great thing about music is those people that started hip hop, they're still able to tour today because when they came into business, they really took it seriously. It was not no get rich quick scheme. They were really passionate about their craft. So because of that, most of those artists from New York are able to still manage and go on tour and still living from performing. So it's just more structured than most African countries. So. Wow.
And you know what? I have to say that in the United States, it's structured, but it's kind of sporadic. Nowadays you can actually be your own producer, your own musician, your own publisher. You can have your own record label. Pretty much it is kind of like you're on your own. What is it like for you now that you're here and you're putting your music out, you're putting your content? What do you find that has been the niche for you?
Yeah, so like I said, when I started, I basically started as a hip-hop artist. I've always been into conscious type of music, so Mos Def, Talib Kweli, Common, The Roots, Jill Scott. These are people that I really grew up listening to and really enjoying their music. Of course, Tupac, Biggie, and that too. But like the conscious-driven type of lyrics, things that would speak to people forever. Even Bob Marley, music that would not just die overnight. Basically, those are the kinds of music I've always been listening to for a very long time. So when it comes to hip hop, that's basically how I started. But now, with the whole Afrobeat, and I've always added like African elements into my music over the years, but with the whole Afrobeat craze, of course it started with that reggaeton craze at one point, but that came and it wasn't. The reason I feel like reggaeton didn't really stick around the way it should have was because the production was just very similar on every single thing. Whereas Afrobeat, when you listen to a lot of Afrobeat songs, they sound so much different. A few of them might sound similar, but most of them sound different, and that's because you have a lot of producers from different parts of Africa that's, kind of just using that sound, their cultural sound, into the music. So, but I'm loving this Afrobeat thing because I could, just get on there and do my music the way how I want it, and to see people gravitate towards it and appreciate it, it makes me feel great,
That's amazing. That's amazing. So, I mean, with the music, that you have, and the people that you're working with, is it that kind of tweaks you, kind of like makes you want more? Why do you want to continue? And where can we reach you to find out where you're at so that we can be a part of it?
I mean, again, I'm in Charlotte, but of course, we're planning like a tour, and when I say we, I mean like I have a core group of guys that we've all been working together over the years. Shout out to WS Doc, Jimmy Black, Tukey, these are all Liberian artists. But we've been doing hip hop, we've been doing Afrobeat. Some of us been involved with R&B and that nature. So we've been doing kind of working together over the years, and we are planning shows, some national shows as well as international shows. So but as far as finding my music, are you going to be able to play it today or for the audience, or you don't? As far as
we're not going to play it today. We're going to put it on the station.
Okay. So as far as finding my late, excuse me.
We'll probably play it tomorrow night when we have our music state, or we're going to have music, kind of a music segment. So yeah. Oh,
okay. So yeah, so as far as finding my music, my latest album is called Carnival, and I use that name because we don't really call it Carnival in Liberia. We call it like African Festival, but it's still kind of the same thing. You have people dressing up and dancing, very similar to the carnival thing they do in the Caribbean. So, but I call my album Carnival, and I have some dance hall beats on there with songs, of course, and I have some Afrobeat, and I have a little bit of hip hop beats as well. But the bulk of the stuff is actually done in Liberian accent. Of course, we use a lot of slangs. So when you're listening to some of the songs, you'll catch a lot of the English words. But when I start singing in slangs or something, you're probably not gonna understand what the slangs are until you really like dive into it, like find out what that means or something like that. So, yeah.
Oh. Okay. Well.
Yeah. But to find it again, sorry about that. Everybody, please go to my website. It's mrpellc.com, and the album on there is called Carnival. I have a special page on there just for that album. Or you could look for Mezonic, Mezonic records.com, and look for the album Carnival. It's the same thing. So, yeah.
Awesome. And so, besides the tours, besides everything else, what's next for you? Where do you see yourself in a couple of years from now, and your music, and what kind of advice do you give for the person coming up after you?
Yeah, so right now it's a really good time for music for me. But of course, I've always been an entrepreneur. I've never really been one of those artists to just not want to learn the business side of things. So I actually started my first management venture last year. So I have two artists. One is in Liberia and one is here in Rochester, New York. I'm managing both of them. And, the guy in Rochester, he's a workaholic. I mean, both of them work hard, but the guy in Rochester, he works a whole lot harder and really trying to prove himself. So, and I kind of admire that. And but his name is Ziwi, and he's hopefully he'll be on your show sometime in the near future. And he's doing extremely well. He's doing extremely well, and I'm proud of what he's doing with his music. The other guy is very talented as well. His name is Soul Smiter. He's in Liberia, and I just hope to hear more from him as well. But I started managing, so these are some of the things that I'm doing. I invested in like DJ equipment to kind of. I really don't want to be a DJ per se, but I feel like if I'm taking my artists on the road, sometimes I may not have to depend on a DJ. So if I have my own equipment and I know how to use it, then we could book event halls or event spaces and get things rolling. So so for the future, I see myself just basically managing more, and then promotions. I also do promotions. I write press releases for artists. I've been doing radio promotions, helping artists get e-blast service and just press releases and different types of promotions like that for years. So I just see myself doing a little bit more of that than me physically getting in the studio recording. I may help artists write songs as well. I produce as well, but I'm not producing as much now, But it just all depends. But I just see myself more in the management area, like calling the shots, helping artists, direct them the right way, booking events for artists and stuff like that.
Awesome. How serious should someone be, and this is going to be your advice, how serious should someone be when they are pursuing their dreams, when they're going after their goals? Should they be kind of like, okay, this is kind of like a side thing, or should they really go after it like this could replace their normal job?
So I'm gonna give you the answer as far as what I've experienced. So what I would tell any artist, first of all, have a backup plan. Matter of fact, have two backup plans. Have a backup plan to where if you're an artist, learn how to do something that involves music. For instance, learn how to be a producer, learn how to be a DJ, learn how to do graphics design. Like when I say learn it, you could take a course or a certification course and really learn it, not just learn it like to where you're not that great. You want to learn this to where you could actually make money on a constant basis with it, So that would be my first advice. And this is maybe an artist who doesn't have a college degree or anything, just somebody who's pursuing music. Learn something other than just being an artist. So basically learn some type of craft like production, learn how to maybe play the piano. That way you could work with a live band and make money anytime, So just learn some type of trade or vocational training that will help you along the way. That way you're still around music somehow, because music is really your real passion. Now, the second thing is probably get some other formal training. It could be a longer-term thing, where like 2 to 4 year degree situation, to where, even though you're doing this music, you have something else that you're falling back on. Because what happens is a lot of people just put all the energy into music, they forget to get something along the side of the road, like some type of trade. And when they realize it, 5, 6, 10 years is already gone, and basically they're out of the game. And at that point, they're broke. They don't have a degree. They don't have some type of trade, and it's just all bad. So have some type of trade or business you could start that will work with your music, and then also go for something a little bit more longer term while you're still doing music. And at the end of the day, you wouldn't be stressed about maybe you're not getting a deal the time you want, and learn the business, learn the actual business of music. When I say actual business, I'm not even talking about the record business as we know it. Learn the business in the sense that, look, if I'm going to release an album, this is my plan to sell the album. I'm gonna go to flea markets. I'm gonna go to gas stations. I'm gonna go where I have to go. I'm gonna do shows and sell my album. If I have T-shirts, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put these T-shirts in the car, go to these places, and sell my T-shirts. Have a plan to really focus on the business. And a lot of people think so much about like the major labels and all this stuff. Forget about that. Focus on, I have this product, I need to move my product. I have this product, I need to do more interviews to get people to understand that I'm going to sell this product, and that's basically how you have to do it. Just do it like a business, as if you were selling, as if you had a convenience store and you were selling beer and cigarettes to people. You know, do it in that light. And if you do it in that light, you're definitely going to see the money, and then you could make time for booking yourself to go do performances as well. And, I mean, it's going to be all good if you do it like that, you know.
Wonderful. Wow. Well, Mezonic, thank you so much for being on the show. We're going to put his information up on our website as well as on our Facebook and all of the places where you can listen to the content here on Dream Chasers Radio. Mezonic has music, and we'll be playing that tomorrow night during our new music kind of segment. We'll have one interview and mostly just new music by a lot of different artists. Mezonic, thank you again so much for calling in, and I can't wait to have your artist call in to be on the show as well.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate this opportunity. And, again, everybody, please go online and check out my album. It's called Carnival by Mezonic. I have a page on my website dedicated to the album. I have 2 music videos on there, and I have all the information about the album: Spotify, Google Play, iTunes, Amazon, everything. So that's Carnival by Mezonic. Thank you so much again for the interview. I appreciate it.
No problem. We're going to go ahead and put that information up today, a little bit later on tonight. Thank you again so much, Mezonic, for being on the show.
All right. Thank you. Have a great one.
You too. Well, that was Mezonic. I want to go down the line here, and I want to say that Mezonic, he had a lot of cool points. You know, if you're going to do this, not only are you going to have to learn the business, but you're also going to have to maybe back yourself up by learning something different within the field that you're in. So if you're in the music industry, maybe you want to go into videography or pictures or, you know, studio work, and be the engineer or DJing or something to that effect, even a composer, a writer, something different to add to what you're doing. Most people have to go into the regular world, which is, I mean, the corporate world is not going to put you down for it. They'll happily take you in as long as you have some skills. So get something other than what you're supposed to go after, your dream or whatever, to back you up during the process of going after your dream. Not a bad idea. But don't forget to like our Facebook page, because if you're not on Facebook, you're not getting videos. And if you're not getting videos, you're not seeing me right now. So we're going to go ahead and log off and finish our radio show. I want to thank you guys for tuning in, and we're going to continue on Facebook. And you know what I'm getting ready to say, right, guys? And I always say it, but I really mean it today. Don't forget to what? Dare to be different, baby. Dare to be different. All right, guys. Mm-hmm.